Okay, so today we're making a potato samosa, which are aloo samosa, and we're just going to add peas and sweet corn. So first of all, I've got some potatoes which we're going to boil. I'm going to do this in the pressure cooker. You can do it however you want. So I'm going to boil these for at least 15 minutes, and then I'll tell you what the next step is. So now that the potatoes are now boiled, we're just going to start peeling them. You may want to let it cool down slightly before you start doing this. And then you're just going to peel all the potatoes. So just continue to do all the potatoes. Make sure that you peel them. If you do start peeling this when it's still quite warm, it's a lot easier to peel than when you completely cool it down and then start doing it. So you're just going to do this. And then just continue to peel them just like that and do all of them, and then I'll come back and show you what the next step is. Okay, so as you can see, the potatoes are now peeled, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this completely cool down, and then we're going to start mashing it with the masher. If you don't have one of these mashers, then you can always use a fork to mash it up. But if you have, then just use one of these. I'm not going to do it now. The reason why, because it's really warm at the moment, and when you tend to mash them, it completely mashes up. And we don't want to completely turn it into a mashed potato. We want some whole potatoes in there as well. So we don't want it completely mashed up. So I would suggest to completely cool it down and then start mashing it. So let's go to the ingredients, and I'll show you what we need to make these aloo samosa. Okay, so we're ready for the ingredients now to make the aloo samosa. So you've got 6 boiled potatoes, which I've showed you how to boil these and peel these. In the masala we need 1 tablespoon of salt, or to taste, 1 tablespoon of red chilli powder, or to taste. I've also got half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of garam masala. Also 1 teaspoon of pomegranate powder, which is anardana powder. That's 1 teaspoon of that. We also need whole cumin seeds. Also we need 1 whole teaspoon of coriander seeds, which we're going to crush and put these in. And we also need 2 green chillies and half lemon we're going to squeeze at the end. And we also need about 2 tablespoons of coriander leaves. We're also going to put 1 teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste, and I've got half a cup of frozen sweet corn and half a cup of peas. The peas and the sweet corn you can put how much you want, but I'm just going to put half a cup of each, and this is just frozen. So let's get started and start making the masala. Okay, so first of all, just put 1 teaspoon of oil. Just make sure you don't put too much in, because we need very less oil to make this. So just 1 teaspoon of oil, and we're just going to add the the cumin seeds. Just add them in and just allow them to sizzle. We're also going to add the teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste. So add that in and stir that in as well. Okay, so once your garlic has now slightly changed shade, we're just going to add the frozen peas and the sweet corn, and then just mix that up. And then just continue to stir this. Okay, we're also going to add the 2 chopped chillies. Add them in and just stir that up. And then just stir this. Just make sure you have it on medium heat at this point. and then just continue to cook this. Okay, so whilst the masala is cooking away, we're just going to go ahead and mash the potatoes now that it's cooled down. You don't want to mash it completely, just make sure you leave some potatoes that are whole, but just gently mash these. So you want to keep some potatoes whole, some potatoes mashed, so just make sure you're keeping some like whole like this but slightly smaller, and that should be enough. You don't want to do it more than that. So let's go and add these in as well. Okay, so now we're ready to add the masala in. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of red chilli powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of garam masala. Add that in. And just continue to cook this on low heat. You don't need it on high heat at all, so just continue to stir this. And then we're going to add the potatoes that we mashed in. Okay, so we're now ready to add the potatoes. And as you can see, we've not completely mashed them, we've left some potatoes whole, because you don't want it to be pasty when you actually eat this. Just gently stir this in. Okay, now that you've mixed all the masala in, we're just going to add the pomegranate seed powder, sorry. So just add that in and stir that in as well. And then just continue to stir this. Okay, so now we're going to add the crushed coriander seeds. So these were the whole seeds, and all we've done is just grinded them, and that was half a teaspoon. Just add that in and stir that in. And then just continue to cook this on low heat. Okay, so just before taking the mixture off, the 2 tablespoons of coriander leaves, just add them in right at the end. You put this in just before taking it off, and then we're just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon, so I'm just going to go get the lemon. So just squeeze in a bit of lemon. And your mixture is now ready. Okay, so as you can see, the mixture is now ready. You can certainly taste it at this point to see if you need any more chilies or if you need any more salt. You can certainly adjust it at this point. What we're going to do now, we're going to make the dough for the samosa filling, not the filling, sorry, the pastry, so we can put the filling in. So let's go ahead and do that for you now. Okay, so we're now ready to make the dough. So I've got 2 cups of plain flour, it's just normal plain flour, and that's 2 cups. We're also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to mix that in. If you want to put a gerain in, you can also put a gerain in as well. But I don't have it, so I'm just not going to add it in. So just stir this, and what we're going to do, I'm just going to get some oil. Okay, so I've got half a cup of ghee. sorry, not ghee, this is oil. You can use ghee if you wish, but this is just plain vegetable oil. I'm just going to gently, I probably won't use all of this, but this is a half a cup, and I'm just going to gently pour it in. Just going to put a bit in, and just with our hands we're just going to gently mix it all in. The secret to get crispy pastry is to mix the whole of the oil in. And then just continue to do that until you mix it in. And you need to mix it in thoroughly until it all comes together, something like this. I'm just going to add a bit more oil in. And if you wish, get both hands in and just mix it in just like this, if you wish. And that's what's going to give it the crispiness. So I think that's enough oil in there. I've got about a tablespoon left of the half the oil that we put in. So put just less than half a cup of oil and just continue to do this. And what you're going to do, you're just going to get some plain water, and then we're just going to make this into a nice little dough. Okay, so this is just lukewarm water, just normal tap water. You don't have to have it hot. Just gently pour it in, and then we're just going to gently mix this up into a nice dough. And just use as much as water as you need. Might just need a little bit more water. And then just continue to mix this. As you can see, the dough is nicely finished. So we're just gonna cover this, and we're gonna leave it for at least half an hour, and then we will start rolling the pastries out, making it into a samosa shape, and then filling it with the fillings that we made earlier. In that time, the mixture should cool down as well regarding the masala that we made. So we're just gonna leave this to the side now. Okay, so the dough now has rested for over half an hour. We're just gonna uncover this, and then we're just gonna give it one more mix, just like this, until it goes like a nice smooth dough, just like this. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take a little ball. Just take any size that you want, depending on how big you want your samosas. I'm going to make my samosas quite small, so I'm just going to take about that much, maybe just a little bit more. Just roll it up in a ball. And then we're just going to flour this and then roll it out into a nice round circle. So I'm just going to get some flour just so it doesn't stick, and then just roll this out. And we're just going to slightly roll this out. We're not going to make it into like a complete circle. We're just going to make it like into like a long oblong shape, and we're just going to make it quite thin. If it's sticking slightly, just add a little bit of flour, and then just continue to do this, and just turn it around as you are doing it, and then just continue to do this until you get the size that you want your samosas to be. as you can see, I made it into quite a long shape, so it's not completely round, it's like an oval shape. And that's how thin you want it, so you can see your hands through it. Just like this. And what we're going to do, we're going to lightly heat this on a pan. And we're not going to completely cook this. We're just going to lightly cook this, because obviously when we fry it, we're going to cook it anyway. So we're just going to cook it on one side. Okay, so I've heated the pan. And what we're going to do, we're going to lightly cook. After we've rolled it out, we're just going to lightly cook just on one side. We're not going to do both sides, just one side. So just put that into the pan. Just like that. As soon as it goes like a changes slight colour, we're just going to take it off. So we're not going to do this on both sides, only one side of the chapati there. So as you can see, it's slightly going a bit white. Just allow that to cook. And once it changes slight colour, just take it off, and it's going to look like this, and that's how you want it, and that's when it's ready. So just take that off. So as you can see, we managed to make about 7 chapatis, and we've only cooked them on one side, as you can see. The other side is still not cooked. We only did it on one side. And what we're going to do now is we managed to make about 7 chapatis. So we're going to cut these in half, and then we're going to make it into samosa. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we also need to make glue for the samosas to stick. So what I've done is I've just got a bit of plain flour that we used to make the dough with. Just the same flour. We're just going to add some water, and we're just going to make like a thick batter, and this is going to be our glue. You can certainly just put plain water on as well, but I just find it by doing it this way, it just kind of sticks better. So just add a little bit more water. We just want to make like a pasty consistency. Just like this, but just make sure you properly mix it up. And just make sure it's not lumpy, and that's going to act as our glue. So that's done, as you can see. Just put that to one side. Okay, so we've got our first chapati, and all we're going to do, we're just going to make like a light crease so we can make them all the same size, and then just get a knife or pizza cutter and just cut them in half. Put that one to the side. And to make the samosas, what we're going to do, we're going to get the cooked side. So you've got one side that's not cooked and one side that is cooked. Get the cooked side, put that side, that corner down, and then that corner over, just to make like a corn shape, just like this. And that's going to be our samosa pocket to put the masala in. So we're just going to use the glue that we made. Just like this. And that will allow us to stick it together. And just make sure, just pinch the corner just to make sure that it's secure. Press it down very gently. And that's going to be our corn. So I've got my masala as well. And all we're going to do is we're just going to get a spoon and then spoon it into here. So just get a spoonful. Do not overfill it. Just put in what you can fit in. If you slightly overfill it, just take some out. You do want to leave a bit of space so that you can close it on the top. And then you're going to get your glue again. Let's put this to one side. And you're just going to gently put the glue around it so that we can stick it together. And that's your little mini samosa. Just to make it look a bit more nice as well, what I usually do is I just usually get a fork and then just fork it at the bottom, so I'll show you that as well. So let's move this to one side. What I normally do is I get a fork and very gently press it in, and I do that to the other side as well. It just makes it look a bit nice, and plus it kind of seals it as well. And there you have your lovely samosa. Just going to show you another one. So we're going to get the cook side, overlap it just like this, and then put that glue that we made just like this, just to seal it up, and then gently press it over. Just make sure you pinch the corners, because that's really important that you press this down, and then just press the middle bit, because obviously when you fry it you don't want this to open, so make sure you do pinch it on the corner there. And then we're just gonna do the same thing again. So get your masala, get a spoonful, make sure you don't fill it up too much because you want a bit of gap and you want to close it as well, and we're just going to gently close it that way. Gently just put the paste all around, and then just seal it. And there's your samosa. Just going to do the same thing again. So gently fork it, and then the other side as well. And there's your second samosa done. Just go ahead and continue to do all the rest of the samosas, and then I'll come back and show you how many we've done. Okay, as you can see, the samosas are now ready. We managed to make about 13 samosas, and I'll just pick one just to show you. So that's what it looks like, and we're just gonna fry these now and show you what they look like when they're fried. I've still got some masala left over. I've got about that much masala left over. So I'll probably save that for later, and then maybe do 1 cup of flour, and then make some more chapatis and do the same thing. But I've just made these just to show you. So let's go ahead and start frying these now. Okay, so we're now ready to deep fry the samosas. So just get any oil of your choice. Just put it into a pan, and then we're going to fry these. At the moment I'm just heating the pan up. Once it gets to the right temperature, we're going to put the samosas in. Okay, so just gently put the samosas in. Once that the pan is heated up. Okay, so once they're nicely cooked on one side, just gently turn it over on the other side. very gently. Try not to break them. Just very gently turn them around. And we're just going to fry these until they're like a golden brown colour. Okay, as you can see, they're now golden brown. So we're ready to take these out now. Okay, so as you can see, the samosas are now ready. And we're just going to lay these out now. Okay, so I've got another chapati here. And what we're going to do, we're just going to cut this in half. Just like this. And on one side, what we're going to do is we're going to just draw some lines going across. We're not going to go all the way to the end, just leave about 1 centimetre on each side. And then we're just going to do the same thing again. Just like this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to get our paste. Turn it this way around. And then just put the paste all the way around. Make sure you put it everywhere so that when we stick it on that side it will stick. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put this side over and stick it down. And then we're just going to do the same thing that we were doing before. Just like this. So that when you fry this, you'll be able to see the little and then just fill that in. So that's what it looks like. And we're just going to fill it in. And then we're just going to put our little glue that we were doing before. And that's what it looks like. And when you fry it, you're just going to get these little patterns. So as you can see, the designer samosas are now ready, and we're just going to go ahead and fry these now. Okay, so as you can see, the designer samosas are now ready. So if you want to impress your guest, you can always make it like this. So it kind of has that little pattern. So if you want to impress them, then make these designer samosas, or you can just make them the traditional way.